Hi, welcome to the Twinsburg Mayor's Report. I'm Mary Kidd, and I'm here with Mayor Sam Scafidi and a guest.
Good morning. Yes, I brought a guest with me today. You know, the city of Twinsburg is, we're participating in the senior experience. So we have seniors from the high schools that come by, and they, some that are interested in what we do, say at City Hall or in government, and they come by and they shadow some of us throughout the day. This is Mike Weiss. He comes to us. We have both Twinsburg seniors and Aurora seniors. Mike is an Aurora senior. He goes to Aurora High School. And so he's been with us for, I believe, 2 weeks now.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
And he's got another, not only this week, I believe next week, will end your experience. So it's been nice having him. He's been great to be able to mentor. I know the departments have loved having him around. Council's had an opportunity to meet and talk with him. So yeah, that's why he's here today. I thought I'd bring him along, introduce him, and show him off to the world. Very, very bright young man.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for coming, Mike. Why don't you tell us about your college plans and beyond?
Yeah, so for college, I'm going to be attending Hiram College. I'll play football there, and I'll study political science. I really picked that college because I've always liked the smaller S type of schools. I feel like, especially with sports and just in general size, as you go in, these big D1 schools, I feel like you're more or less, a number from the athletic standpoint, but also academically, since the classes are so big, I feel like you're not really known as a person, as a student there. So I picked Hiram because of not only their political science program, but mainly because of the, emotional ties and just well oversized, yeah.
Well, and if you're going to college and playing a D1 sport, it's like going to school full-time and having a full-time job.
Exactly,
yeah,
yes.
So that's
exactly.
very difficult, very challenging. Oh. So I agree with your choice.
Thank you.
Okay, Sam, can you tell us what's the status of the land agreement with the schools?
Okay, well, the land agreement with the schools has been passed by both the City Council and the Board of Education, the school board. And that was an agreement that, once if and when this issue passes, which today's election day, and so we'll find out tonight whether the agreement, but everything in that agreement is subject to this passing by the voters of the city of Twinsburg, at which time we would take control of then the Dodge property, which is right next to our wastewater treatment plant and our service garage. And then there's a piece of property that the city currently owns that at one time many years ago was owned by the schools, and then I believe it was during Mayor Karabich's term, there was a swap or something done during that time where the high school wound up on that property, and then we took over ownership of the property that they're currently looking to build their school, which would be between Chamberlain Road and Ravenna Road back there. And it's an all wooded property. So that's basically the term of it. The only caveat is that the Dodge School would have to remain. They will have a 5-year lease then on Dodge School until they build the new schools, should this happen. So we'll wind up being the landlords to that school on that property.
Listen, you kids.
I know. I'm putting up a fence.
Turn down the music.
Right. I'm not going to be that nasty neighbor. But yeah, so again, but it all depends on what the voters do, of the city of Twinsburg. Yeah, it's up to them whether this goes or not. And if it doesn't pass, then, I guess and I've looked before, because my future plan would be to put we need an expansion of our service garage. And I believe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But, and so that was the perfect setting for it, because it's right next to, where we currently operate, and next to the wastewater plant and the salt dome. But if it doesn't work out or pan out, then we'll have to look for other areas.
Well, go ahead with that service garage plan.
Yeah, the service garage plan, our service garage has been there forever, just about. And with the growth of the city and the growth of the services that we provide, it's just inadequate. It's an inadequate, outdated facility. And, when you grow your community as Twinsburg's grown, this hasn't grown since Twinsburg was, since it was built there. So it hasn't kept up with the growth. But with the extended services that we provide, that's extended. There's new equipment, new vehicles, and unfortunately, we don't have anywhere to house all this equipment. So it sits outside year-round in all the elements, which is as a former service director, I understand all that. You know, it's like it's not the best environment to keep your equipment in, and so you don't get the life out of it that you really should be getting out of it. Even though our maintenance department does a wonderful job keeping up with the mechanics of it all, but it's not good for the body, it's not good for the frame, it's not good for a lot of reasons. And so we're winding up having to at times replace equipment quicker than we should. So I wanted one thing and, you know, all in one facility to be able to house all this stuff, even our seasonal equipment, be able to house that inside and bring in our, you know, our snow plows and so on and so forth. So it's a project that I think has been long coming. I've talked about it for many years while I was on city council, and finally I'm hoping that I can bring it to the forefront and get it done for the city.
Wait, and you also mentioned the wastewater treatment plant on that same area. There were big improvements going on there.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're doing really big improvements there. You know, there's things that we need to do, again, because it's a little outdated as well. And so there's things by the EPA that we have to update and so on. And so that's I think it's $1.7 million that we're investing in the upgrade of our wastewater treatment plant to bring it up to code and again to service the residents and service this community. Because of that wastewater treatment plant, you know, I'm proud to say that we are one of the lowest in the county as far as our sewer rates go, to not only our businesses but to our residents. And so it's important that we keep up that facility. You know, we treat a lot of water where wastewater comes through there on a daily basis. So it's an important facility for us to keep up and keep going.
Has that been part of your internship, wastewater treatment plant?
Yes, it has been. I actually took a tour there and seeing all the facilities, like Sam mentioned, and actually the director, I forget his name.
Nate.
Nate, yeah, Nate. He took us on the tour and did say, yeah, he wants to work with the city, which I was interested in, between the relationships of outdated equipment and wanting to replace this stuff for the city, because it is a big asset to the city of Twinsburg and the residents that live there. But yeah, I took a tour. It was very interesting to watch how they process not only our wastewater, but also how to make sure it's done the correct way.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just a mystery to me. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you see what's coming in there, and it's not pretty, but you know, and then it goes through the whole process. They say that by the time it's ready to go out and released into the creeks, that's really drinkable water. I don't know that I would drink it at that point,
Right.
but they say that you can drink it. It's clean enough at that point that you may be able to drink that. So.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, there are big changes, big improvements coming to Twinsburg Township Square, which is right in the middle of Twinsburg.
Right.
How will it affect the city of Twinsburg and the surrounding businesses on the square?
Okay, well, we're doing a couple things there, the city. Right now, we're in the process of removing a traffic signal at the corner of Ravenna Road and Church Street. That was non-warranted by the traffic engineers. And so we've set up a temporary setup. It'll be set up for 90 days. We've put that light on flash, and then we've got a temporary coning area. It does have a stripe, but where the cars are going to be, we're shrinking the lane in, because right now it's a large lane when there was a traffic signal there. And so it'll be controlled by a stop sign, okay, but just a one-way stop sign. Ravenna Road is always just going to be, you know, open. And coming out of Maple Drive also has some cones there, because we're filtering the traffic through there as well. So it's safer for them to pull out of their street onto Church Street and then onto Ravenna Road. So again, that's going to be on flash, where it's on a 90-day trial. To make sure that nothing major goes on there. So far, we've been very fortunate. There's been no accidents, and we've got large signs. It's very well signed. But once that 90-day period's up, then we're going to do the permanent markings on the road, and there'll be permanent curbs put up as well to keep this traffic filtered. So, and we'll have a contractor doing that. So that's one thing that we're doing there. But we're also working on creating a facade improvement grant program for the just for the businesses around the square, and that we're trying to hope to bring on board to help them out with facades, of the square, the businesses in the square that have been there for many years, and they're great businesses. But it's time to maybe give them an uplift as well. So that's why we're trying to create this program and give them a hand, and hopefully we can get them to buy in, and we can get that done too. I really want to just spruce up the downtown area. That is our downtown, and it's something that we should be very, very proud of. And I think that if we could accomplish all these things, we can do that. We could meet that goal. Plus, the other thing is down 82 from like the Dunkin' Donuts area, if you're aware of that, into the square, we're doing a streetscape program there. So we're going to be putting in new sidewalks there. We're going to be putting in lampposts, flower baskets, maybe a few benches up and down the road. We're trying to make that a more homey and welcoming area for the city and for the township people as well.
Great plan.
Yeah, that's some good plans. Yeah, we're biting off quite a bit, but I think we can do it.
Well, that's how Twinsburg is improving right now. How, if you were in charge, what changes would you make to Aurora, where you live?
For Aurora, I feel like I would have the same motive. Downtown Aurora, I feel, could be. I love my city. I love Aurora. Sorry, but
Well, that's like
right. But no, I feel like I would take the same approach and really just try to more or less, maybe vitalize might not be the right word, but try to build up the downtown area to make it more of a place people want to like walk around in and go outside more, I feel. But also, I think, economically for Aurora, we have a lot of large homes, which is in the process now. We're building a lot of new neighborhoods. But I would really appreciate, if I was in charge, trying to pull in big businesses. Like I've seen while I've been on my internship with Twinsburg has a lot of big businesses, and they pull in a lot of revenue for not only their citizens, but also a lot of revenue to then shoot back out to the residents. So I feel like if I was in charge, I feel that would be one of the bigger projects I would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You put some thought into this.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that.
telling you, he's very intelligent.
All right, so it's time for hydrant flushing.
Yes. Yeah, hydrant flushing, that began on May 1st, or will begin in May, and we're projected to flush through the late summer. Okay. We've got about 1,800 hydrants in the city of Twinsburg, or that are under our district's response for. So, so we'll be doing that, and we just ask everybody to please, when you see them out there, be mindful of the staff that we have out there. So we have we don't run into any accidents with anybody or any of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Rock the Park is back.
Rock the Park's coming back again. Yeah, we're going to have a full schedule this year. As you know, last year we did not have a full schedule because of redoing the park. So tickets went on sale yesterday on May 5th, and you can go on rockthepark.com, and we have 5 concerts this year. The first one is June 13th. If I can, I'll just read off the acts real quick. We have Dirty Deeds coming. They're an AC/DC tribute band. We have Escape, which is a Journey tribute band. We have Wanted, which is a Bon Jovi tribute. And Country Redford, which is all country hits. Oh. But then we're going to wrap up the summer. We're doing something brand new that we've never done before. And we're having an event, and it's the final season concert on August 16th. And we're giving back to the school community. It's going to be a giant block party that we're having, and it's a free concert. And all are welcome, all are able to come. You'll still have to get tickets for it, but it's still free. It's, so there's no charge. And there's going to be concerts that are free. Tickets are still required. Like I said, it's called our community block party, and we're celebrating, we're giving back to the schools. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have carnival games, school supply depot, PTA, and much more. We're doing this in cooperation with Twinsburg City Schools. So it should be a big, fun, free summer concert party. And I wrote down so I didn't forget who we're having there. His name is Cocktail Johnny. Okay, he'll be there. but no
Is he
alcohol.
the bartender?
No alcohol. Not for the kids, anyway. Well, still, it's going to be the same thing, though. There'll be food, there'll be alcohol being served, but of course it's by ID, and you've got to be of age. So yeah,
What a great idea.
It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Just giving a thank you to everybody for supporting our Rock the Park programs for all these years, and we're going
Wow.
to keep going with it.
Mike, have you been to a Rock the Park concert?
No, but I've had a few friends I actually wrestled with in Twinsburg talk about it, and they talk great things about it.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot. It sounds like a lot of fun, yes.
Well, now you're obligated to come to one this year.
Right.
That's how we let you out here.
Tickets are on sale now.
Yes.
And what Memorial Day events are coming up?
Yeah, Memorial Day, that'll be on Monday, the 26th. And with all the construction and things going on in downtown, where we typically have it right on the square, we'll start out from the same place, from Twinsburg High School. That's where we'll line up, and that's where we'll leave from. Once we get to the square, I believe it's going to be like fenced off to get to the grassy area, because that'll really be under construction by that point. But the entire program is going to be held on the church property, which is right there on Church Street. So the folks coming by, they'll be able to stand in Church Street and just look this way instead of being on the grass and looking at the stage there. So it should be, again, still a great parade that we have, celebrating all those that gave their life for our freedoms that we enjoy today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's no safety town in Twinsburg again this year. Jennifer, I spoke with her. She hopes to have it up and going next year. But what are the options for residents right now?
The options that they have, Solon has a safety town, Stowe, and Summit County Sheriff's Department. They all have programs that, that they can attend if they want to go to safety town. And like you said, ours will be back next year in 2026.
Good.
And we're putting it back together now. It's going to be a little different. We've got some help where all the buildings will be going up. It's going to be more like instead of just being used for a safety town, it's going to be a playground as well, because we moved it over to Glen Meadow Park, and so it's more accessible to everybody and usable by everybody. And we've got a great park there. So yeah, it's going to be able to use year round, and rather than just during the safety town time.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you go to safety town, Mike?
I did go to Safety Town, yes.
Do you have good memories?
I do. Yeah, I do.
But I'll bet you then they didn't have, ours has a roundabout in it. Did yours have a roundabout?
No, it did not.
Yeah, we're going to have a roundabout in our safety town. So, yeah, we're teaching them young.
Yeah, so when they learn to drive, they won't be intimidated by it.
Right.
That's right.
And I read about teen trips. I think that's new this year.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's really exciting. We do all the trips we've always talked about for our seniors and so on. This year we're doing our teen trips, and they're going to be able to take trips to. We're doing like a Guardians game, and we're doing Cedar Point. And so, yeah, it should be a good time. Just something to get our teens involved. And I thought that was a great idea that we're going to be doing that. So registration's now open, and again, they can go on twinsburgrecreation.com and register. So it should be a good time. Give our teens some attention and something for them to do as well.
Good.
Yeah.
And time again for Muffins with the Mayor.
Muffins with the Mayor is coming up on the 15th of May. Yes, and this year I'm bringing with me our building commissioner, Dale Steppenbacher. I usually bring a department head with me. I'm bringing Dale with me this year. He's going to be talking about, just what, if they're doing work on their house, what do they need permits for, what don't they need permits for. If they're hiring a contractor, having that contractor be registered with the city, because if something doesn't go right, then it gives them an opportunity to call the city, and we'll help them, and it's kind of a protection for them too. So he's going to be going through all the procedures with our seniors if they plan to do anything like that. So.
Well, and things change too, like
Sure.
the fencing or ordinances and things like that, and it might not be the same as 10 years ago when they last looked into it.
Right. And also tells them cut your grass, because we're going to tell them that we always cite for long grass too. So there's going to be a little lesson on it, on all fronts.
And when does the outdoor pool open?
That'll open on Saturday, May 24th. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. They're filling it up as we speak.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're getting all ready for this summer, and I expect it to be busy. You know, with the work that we have going on inside the fitness center, you know, our indoor pool is going to be closed all summer. So we're giving those folks the same membership to the outdoor pool. Anybody that has an indoor fitness center membership can now attend our outdoor pool. So it should be a busy, really busy place this year. Yeah.
And it's always fun.
Yeah, it's a fun place.
Yeah. And finally, you mentioned in your State of the City, which went very well, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That you're expanding your city newsletter.
Correct. Currently, we started it out, and that was just a trial. We started it out with 4 pages, and we're going to be increasing it to 8 pages now. I mean, we've had so much, you know, at first we didn't know how it was going to go or how it was going to be received, and it's been very well received by the residents, because some folks just like to have it mailed to their house like we used to have in the olden days, you know, the newspapers that would come to our house, you know, the local papers. And so because those aren't there anymore, and there's some folks that don't go on computers, or they're not on websites, and because we do send out an electronic newsletter quite frequently too. But this comes out once a quarter, and we decided to beef it up a little bit to even put more information for the residents to look at and see. And again, they really appreciate they appreciate having something in their hand that they can wake up in the morning, pick it up, and have their coffee and be able to flip through it and read it at their own leisure. So, and I've heard that from several people. So I think that was a great idea, and you know, hopefully maybe next year I could expand it to not only quarterly, but maybe do a monthly. I'd like to put out a monthly edition as well. So yeah, it's just all, you know, transparency is the big word today, and it's just putting all the information out there and letting them know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you, but we're going to end with you're just finishing up your high school career.
Yes.
So do you have any advice or words of wisdom for kids who are just starting their high school careers?
Yeah, no, I tell my brother's in 8th grade. He's just
Okay.
finishing up middle school. So when I leave, he's in high school, and then when he graduates, I'll graduate college. So it'll be fun. But no, what I've learned over my years in high school is really organization. Prioritizing certain assignments that are due on certain days, and noting like time management. It's a whole lot of things, but I would say organization and time management are probably the 2 biggest things. I've had several nights where I procrastinate, and every teenager does that, but the way to limit that would be, okay, I got to get math homework and English homework done, because I have a psych test I have in like a week or 2, which I need all of tomorrow for. And you know, with time, I played 2 sports. I wrestled in the winter, played football in the summer, and it does conflict with school. But that's why you're called student athlete. You're a student first and athlete second. Yeah. So yeah, prioritizing math homework. When I have a 3-hour practice right after school, I got to make sure I get that done before I go to bed. Right. Really, those 2 things I harp not only to my brother, but I would harp to others.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and
Yeah,
joining
no,
us.
thank you for having me.
And thank you for bringing him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And we will see you next month when it's just the 2 of us again.
There's a song, isn't it? Just the 2 of us.
Listen to you 2. Okay.
We practiced that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.